Welcome to the Powered by Age-Friendly City Zoomcast reality-style podcast.
We are movers and shakers, shaking up the old notion of silent, helpless, invisible seniors.
This is a new series of podcasts funded by the City of Vancouver and the 411 Senior Center Society.
As PBA AFC ambassadors, we
raise awareness,
share our original stories and poems,
inform, advocate, and involve seniors in discussing important social issues.
In short, these podcasts will help us,
you, in creating an age-friendly city for Vancouver today,
tomorrow the world.
You can hear us everywhere podcasts are heard. Hello, I'm Charlotte Sister C. Farrell, coordinator and host of the Powered by Age podcast creation program, sponsored by the 411 Senior Center Society and the City of Vancouver. I'm gratefully acknowledging that our program occurs on the unceded homelands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Today, October 1st, 2020, we're having a double celebration. The 30th anniversary of the United Nations International Day of Older Persons, and the first anniversary of the Powered by Age-Friendly City podcast program. You're going to be welcomed by our fearless, innovative director of the 411 Senior Center, Leslie Raymond, who will introduce our three illustrious guests, Agnes Jackman, Eric Kowalski, and Marion Pollock. And then next, our fabulous production team mentor, Robin Erickson, will facilitate self-intros of some of our regular podcasters and elicit their thoughts on how the podcast program has influenced how they're coping with the pandemic. Today's podcast party will probably venture beyond our usual hour because our technology captain, Luke, is going to launch us into the new PBA website and start a listening party that'll feature some of the stories, poems, and interviews our podcasters have shared over the past 7 months of the pandemic. So take it away, Director Leslie.
Hello, everybody. My name is Leslie Raymond, and I have the privilege of being the executive director for the 411 Senior Center Society. I think most of the people on the Zoom will know us, but for listeners, we're a senior-led organization located in Vancouver who work to confront ageism and ageist beliefs in our society and to build on the talents, expertise, and the strengths of the seniors community. We're senior-led in all our activities, governed by a board of 13 seniors. On our board of directors, we have 10 operating committees, all run by seniors, and everything we do is senior-led. So again, welcome. I'm very excited to be on the Powered by Age podcast, my first chance to join since we went to Zoom in March. Charlotte's asked me to give you a little bit of background of why and how the Powered of Age program started. So I'll back up 2 years. In 2018, as a group, we were looking at the area of technology and in particular the digital divide, as we continue to see more seniors being excluded from the ability to access information resources and opportunities as things are moving more and more onto the computer and into the internet. So we were faced by the problems of the digital divide, and we wanted to look for some meaningful ways to ourselves learn and to engage using digital platforms. So we wanted to think outside of the box, outside of just kind of computer classes and these passive opportunities, and a series of events and some great people led to the Powered by Age podcast. So like everything we do here, it's a bit of a trial by error and some learning. We were looking for the ways that we could interact with digital platforms. Again, we wanted to look at ways we want our actions to be guided by confronting ageist beliefs in our society. So we wanted a platform that would raise the voices of this individual seniors within the diverse seniors community, because that's one thing we know at 411, that age is just an intersect for other social and political identities. So the diversity of our community, we wanted to be able to find a platform that would express those voices. And really just to look at where where technology and digital platforms may have a role in our organization and the services and programs that we are going to take on going forward. So we started the Powered by Age podcast really because we are in a great building with some other great partners in this building. Through a series of events, I ran into Luke, who's on this Zoom with us. He is a partner with Joel on Podstream Studios. So our first effort was a kind of a highly produced on-site face-to-face collaboration where our creative writing groups, our poets, our savvy interviewers got together and put a series of 4 episodes together. We were down in the recording booths at Podstream Studios, so we got to learn a little bit about the production aspect of podcasts, and that was our first 4 episodes. Thanks, we found it really successful. We had a lot of fun with it, frankly. And so we pursued a grant from the City of Vancouver under the Social Innovation stream, the Age-Friendly City. And we're very thankful to the City of Vancouver Social Policy Group in particular, who runs these grants, that we secured a $20,000 grant from the City of Vancouver to forward the Powered by Age podcast last year about this time. So again, senior led, we went out to the original podcasters. 2 of our members, Charlotte Farrell and Naomi Spry, volunteered to coordinate the next series of the Powered by Age podcasts. And then the pandemic hit. And so I think one of the things that I'm just really grateful for is how resilient and flexible our community is. So we had to turn organization that is purposely organized and set up for face-to-face, in-place interactions. We know that our members speak many different languages. We know that face-to-face connections have been the best way for us to connect. So we had to, on a dime, flip our organization upside down and our organizational model upside down. So while myself and the staff and we have 150 senior volunteers with 411. While our primary urgency was the financial and personal security of seniors when the pandemic hit, I'm very grateful this Powered of Age podcast group who was able to continue some of the connecting and socialization and activities that we would never normally have here at the center. We have creative writing groups. We have ways to meet and talk and convene with each other in order to connect around issues that are important to us. So the Powered by Age podcast is our first digital program offered by 411, and I'm very pleased to be on this session. So I'd like to thank a few people. I first of all would like to thank Luke and Joel from Podstream Studios. We had a 411 radio program back when we were on Dunsmuir Street. And when I first got the job here at 411, everyone was encouraging me to start a new radio program. And that seemed like a big deal. I didn't know how to do that. So through those conversations and some running into Joel and Luke and their pod streaming, we were introduced to podcasting and supported by those 2 great guys. So my thanks to Luke and Joel from Podstream Studios. I'd also like to thank CJSF Radio, 90.1 FM. They've also been supporters of this project, and on many of the segments on Friday, we get to hear your podcast production. So thank you to CJSF Radio, and a final thanks to our coordinator at Powered by Age, Charlotte Farrell, who has just done a spectacular job. We have found that the podcasting is a combination of digital skill building. So I don't know how many of you have learned Zoom through this since March. I'm one of those people. So thank you to Charlotte for her time, and especially her energy. So that's the history of. Go ahead, Charlotte.
I just said thank you.
Yeah. These things aren't always easy to pull off. And really what it really comes down to is the right people coming together. So this is a production of our community and our allies in our community, groups like Quirky, and we're just West End Seniors Network is a part of this, South Granville Senior Center. So just a real great community engagement project and bringing us all together. And with that, I would like to introduce Agnes Jackman. Agnes has a proclamation from the province for us.
Thank you very much. First off, I would like to start by congratulating Powered by Age for its first anniversary of this podcast. Well done.
Thank you.
And in 2016, the Council of Senior Citizens Organizations, known as COSCO, was asked by Seniors Voices of the National Pensioners Federation to coordinate and report on activities in BC in recognition of the United Nations October 1st International Day of Older Persons, UNIDOP. COSCO decided that as part of this endeavor, it would invite the BC municipalities, townships, villages, and districts to make IDOP proclamations or declarations and to fly the UNIDOP flag on October 1st. The next year, the province of BC was invited to do so as well. Each year, the UN chooses a theme for that year's IDOP. This year's theme is pandemics. Do they change how we address age and aging? This year being unlike any other year in recent history, due to COVID-19, the UN has issued a statement saying, considering the higher risks confronted by older persons during the outbreak of pandemics, such as COVID-19, policy and programmatic interventions must be targeted towards raising awareness of their special needs. Recognizing older persons' contributions to their own health and the multiple roles they play in the preparedness and response phases of current and future pandemics is also important. I will now read out the Province of British Columbia's 2020 October 1st IDOP Proclamation. Province of British Columbia Proclamation. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, of the United Kingdom, Canada, and her other realms and territories, Queen, Head of the Commonwealth, Defender of the Faith. To all to whom these presents shall come, greeting. Whereas growing older does not diminish a person's inherent dignity and fundamental rights, and whereas in 2020, the 30th anniversary of the United Nations International Day of Older Persons, UNIDOP, celebrates the importance of the 72nd anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and reaffirms the commitment to promoting the full and equal enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedoms by older persons. And whereas more than 40 years after the adoption of the Universal Declaration of human rights issues for older persons were taken up in 1991, and the United Nations Principles for Older Persons were formed to provide guidance in the areas of independence, participation, care, fulfillment, and dignity. And whereas in 2002, governments agreed for the first time to link questions of aging to other frameworks for social and economic development and human rights. And whereas the 2020 theme of International Day of Older Persons is pandemics, do they change how we address age and aging? And it focuses on raising awareness of the needs of older persons and their contributions to their own health and to the functioning of the societies in which they live. And whereas the interdependence between older persons' social integration and the full enjoyment of their human rights must be acknowledged, as the degree to which older persons are socially integrated directly affects their dignity and quality of life. Now know ye that we do by these presents proclaim and declare that October 1st, 2020 shall be known as International Day of Older Persons in the province of British Columbia. In testimony whereof, we have caused these our letters to be made patent, and the great seal of our province of British Columbia to be hereunto affixed. Witness the Honorable Janet Austin, Lieutenant Governor of our province of British Columbia, in our city of Victoria and in our province, the 17th day of September, 2020, and in the 69th year of our reign by command. And then there's the signatures of the Attorney General and the Lieutenant Governor underneath that. Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity of reading this out to you folks.
Oh, thank you for presenting it. That was wonderful.
Next, I'd like to introduce Eric Kowalski. Eric's with the Social Policy Department of the City of Vancouver. Social Policy are friends of ours. It's a group that I often go to when I'm encountering challenges in our organization, and I get to speak with Eric quite often. So without further ado, Eric.
So thank you. Leslie, I'm going to, when she said she speaks to me frequently, I'm hoping she's saying that in a positive way. She's stuck speaking to me frequently, and often I'm scared of Leslie, so it's good. So I always take her calls. No, I've been a longtime fan of 411 Senior Center, long before I worked for the city. I think my first connections with the center were back in the 1990s when at that point I worked for the federal government in immigrant settlement programs. And at that point, 411 was such a leader in looking at issues facing a newcomer and immigrant seniors. So I have to admit, when I heard about I thought this project was a fabulous idea. And as we've been going through the last few months of COVID, and certainly heightened concern about how to reach out to seniors and to isolated seniors who by definition are isolated. And I know so many of the seniors organizations I've been speaking to over the city over the last few months have said, we feel that we're, at least by phone and stuff, we're connecting with seniors who we were connected with previously, if they were registered with a program or they were volunteers, but we still have no idea about the seniors we've never been able to reach. And so when I hear about a podcast, I've been thinking about, do we get Canada Post to do some multilingual flyer to every single household in Vancouver, trying to reach seniors who are completely cut off and who aren't online, many seniors. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe we start to use radio more. And I would be interested to get people's ideas about how many seniors regularly listen to the radio these days. Certainly in my time and with my parents and my grandparents, the radio was very much, yes, I'm not that old, Lanny. We had televisions in my day, but the radio was very, very, very much part of our ongoing. My mom always having CBC radio on in the background all the time when we were kids. And I'm just wondering if that could be another option to reach out to seniors during what are some extremely challenging times. But wanted to congratulate you all and 411 for the innovation around this podcast and this idea. I don't know, Leslie, if there's anything more you would like me to speak about.
No, I think that's good. We just wanted to see your face and thank the city and appreciate your support. And I certainly heard some enthusiasm about what we're doing. So I will be coming out with my handout to be able to continue this project. Thank you, Eric. In all seriousness, Eric's a good ally of ours, and I appreciate everything the City of Vancouver Social Policy has done for us. Yes.
Can I just introduce Lanny Libby, who's my colleague, who also works with me in social policy and projects.
Please.
He's very involved equally with grants, but with our data team, and also was very involved with an age-friendly lab process last year, which I don't think this project was part of, but others were part of. And so it's certainly been a strong advocate for support for older adults in our city and our society. So I really hope that Lanny could be here today too, just to get a sense of some of the things that are going on the ground.
Welcome, Lanny. Thank you for joining us.
Leslie, I have a question about access on the internet. Does any of the podcasts go out on the internet Anyway, tell me about your connection to the internet.
Well, I'll let Luke talk about where to find us, but yes, Powered by Age is spread out through both the podcasting applications that you can find. It's on Anchor FM. If you're using Apple iPhone podcasts, once you set it onto the internet, it spreads like wildfire. So we're out throughout the internet, and Luke will give you the information exactly where to find us. The easiest way to find us is through the 411 Facebook page or the 411 website, and I know that Charlotte and Luke have now worked on a special website specifically for Powered by Age, so we can easily find it.
Yes, we'll be launching that today and sharing it with you.
Without further ado, I would like to introduce Marion Pollock. One of the greatest professional experiences for me has been coming to 411 and being able to work under the mentorship of some amazing people. And so I just want to introduce Marion and say she's a woman that I have learned a lot from in my time at 411. And we're really lucky to have her as the board president. Without further ado, Marion.
Well, thank you, Leslie, for that great introduction. I want to say it's a red letter day for me for 3 reasons. 1, it's a UN Day of the Older Person. 2, it's the first year anniversary of the podcast. And 3, I think it's the first time in my life that I've been called illustrious. So for all those reasons, I want to thank people. So my job is sort of to talk about some issues facing seniors. Now, I could be doing this for like hours and hours and hours, but Charlotte said you only can talk about 3. So I'm going to follow her instructions. So one of the first ones I think that we've all seen is we've seen the appalling number of seniors in long-term care die because of COVID-19. The Seniors Advocate published statistics about not just deaths, but people who caught COVID-19 in seniors' long-term care homes. 6% were in public homes, and the rest were in either contracted out or private homes. And for me, it's shocking. And seniors deserve way better. None of us know if we're ever, when or if we're going to need long-term care. And I don't want to go into a seniors home that's underfunded, that has staff that are really stressed out and can't offer me the proper care or the proper care hours, or they don't have great infection control. And I don't want that for my friends either. So I think it's a big issue, and I think it's an issue that we have to keep taking care of. The second issue I want to talk about is seniors and poverty. Not all, contrary to popular belief, not all seniors are well off. A lot of us are struggling to make ends meet on a daily basis. Many of us are dependent on old age security, guaranteed income supplement payments, and Canada Pension Plan payments. And for many of us, even if we get those payments, we're still struggling to make ends meet. And it's difficult. And, we have some programs provincially and federally that help, but, they need to be improved and expanded. And people need to become more aware of them. Not a lot of us know about SAFER, which is a shelter allowance for elderly renters that helps low-income renters, but not a lot of us know about it. This has been a fact that's been documented by the BC Seniors Advocate. So we want to talk about that. We want to talk about guaranteed income supplement and make sure that all seniors who need the guaranteed income supplement and who are low income qualify for it. We also, because a theme of this year's International Day of the Older Person is sort of health, I want to talk about two other issues. One is dental care. I'm scared of the dentist. It's one of the few things I'm scared of, but everyone else I know who's not scared of the dentist, wants and needs dental care. We see all the time at 411 Senior Center, seniors coming in with, in dental crisis, and, they ask us for referrals. We can refer them to some clinics, low-cost clinics that are doing amazing work, but it's like 30 or 40% off the cost. Well, for a lot of seniors, 30 or 40% off the cost is still prohibitive for many seniors. And we know that, dental care, is tied into social isolation and tied into general health. So we need to keep fighting for sort of dental care for everybody. And we also know that so many seniors, even with the existence of fair pharmacare in BC, can't afford their medication. And, at 411 Senior Center, we run into seniors who aren't on fair pharmacare, don't understand fair pharmacare, or are still paying a lot of money for their drugs. And we need a fair pharmacare plan. But the one thing I also want to emphasize is that on October 24th, I think that's the date, we have the date of the provincial election. At 411 Senior Center, we're never, ever, ever going to tell you who to vote for. But we're going to tell you to vote, and to vote for candidates and parties that will protect seniors, that will help us as seniors keep safe and strong. So I really want to thank Charlotte and the rest of you for giving me the opportunity to be on here. Wish everyone a happy Seniors Day, and if people have any questions or comments, I'm willing to take them. But you also have an amazing program that you may want to get to. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Marion. We've really been blessed within this podcast program to have Marion and members of the Senior Issues Committee from 411 Center and some of the other centers make special presentations to us on issues like housing, health, transit services, and to enable us to fulfill one of the goals of this podcast is to change the profile of seniors and to make Vancouver and other cities a really age-friendly city. So thank you for all of the resources that you've brought to us and your continuing participation in our podcast Powered by Age program. Well, as you've heard, it is our anniversary, so we don't have candles, but let's just clap in. Happy 1 year. And at this time, I'm going to introduce you to our fabulous Robin. Robin is a member of CJSF. She's the coordinator of programs, but she's been a mentor to our podcasters and helping people. At particular times, there are members of our group who lead sessions. So today, Robin is going to facilitate the self-introductions of some of our regulars and elicit their thoughts on how the podcast program has influenced how they're coping with the pandemic. Welcome, Robin.
Hi, and thank you. And sorry I was late to the show today. Happy to be here, and thank you, Marion. That was really interesting. What you were presenting when I came on. I see a number of friendly faces that I recognize, and maybe just as a quick introduction to each other, we can have a quick little go round. And one of the things that I love is to know, if you were a weather pattern, what would the weather pattern be that you are today? And so let's just go around with some of the regular folks. I see Leslie. What's your weather pattern, Leslie?
Leslie? Okay. Sorry, there's two Leslies, which confuses me.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I'm thinking cumulonimbus. I'm kind of a light, fluffy cloud floating in the blue sky.
Nice. Marion?
I think stormy.
Thank you. Neil?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm always positive, but I'm a smoky day today. But that's for sure. I look out at I can see the river now, but this morning it's about a mile away, and I can see it. I can see it now, but I've been smoky today.
All right. How about you, Sylvie? What are you as a weather pattern?
I'm the sun straining to get out from behind the smoke, actually.
How about you, Chris?
I'm thunder. I I think of those things they show in how they make thunder in TV shows and stuff like that, and how they rattle that corrugated iron to make the sound of thunder. Thunder.
Nice. Luke.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a hailstorm today. Kind of stressful, big pellets, but it doesn't last very long. So. And
Charlotte.
Electricity, lightning, because I'm excited to see everyone here and that we are moving forward.
I also see quite a few faces that I don't recognize, and then I see some names of folks who are joining us either by phone or without video. I'm going to ask that you also introduce yourself and participate by sharing what your weather pattern is. Let's go to Agnes.
I'd say sunny. Thank you.
And Eric?
Hi. Low pressure system, scattered showers. No risk of thunderstorms.
How about you, Leslie?
This is the best part of my day. I'm in a sunny day today.
Florence, you just need to unmute yourself.
I think I'm calm.
Calm weather. Nice. Mm-hmm. Joel?
Well, since I've been up for class since 5 a.m., I'm a bit foggy these days. So, and I'm trying to look at the lighthouse to see where the foghorn's coming from. So, on both sides of it.
Yeah. Renee, how about you? What weather pattern are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to join this Zoom meeting. This is my I'm joining Zoom meeting. So I'm a little bit excited because I'm not familiar using this Zoom technology. So today is happy and glad to see you all people, very kind people.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
How about you, Frank? Have you got a weather pattern that you're feeling today? Oh, you might need to unmute yourself.
I think you said earlier you didn't have sound. He's here to listen today.
Okay, gotcha. And I think that's all of us.
Oh,
no, we heard from Renee.
Oh, okay.
My own weather pattern would be, I think a little crackly, not necessarily full blown sheet lightning, but kind of crackly. Out there, so you'll see by the demonstration of weather patterns that we've got a very vibrant team of participatory seniors and other folks who bring a lot of personality and have brought a lot of creativity to the podcast over the time that I've been involved, and I really look forward to hearing what else is up for the day.
Well, we were going to invite, if there are 2 or 3 people that would like to share what this podcast has meant for them or enabled them to do during the pandemic.
I'd like to comment, and that is that this has been a fabulous learning experience for me. It really, really has, and I can only say thank you for the love from everybody, and thank you for the love from Charlotte, that she decided that we needed to have this, and we did. This is really, hey, it's a place where I get to share my poetry. So what more can I say? It's wonderful. Thank you, Charlotte. Oh. And Robin, you know, I remember your none of your business suggestion, and love you dearly. So, and Luke, you're a brick. You're there when we need you there, and thank you to everybody. And I have a poem for today, if Charlotte would like to hear one.
Certainly. That's one of the ways that we got started. When we got started, we asked what people brought to the table, and Neil brought poetry, Chris brought a story, Sylvie brought an interview, and we just had an ongoing banquet each week. So, yes, share your poem.
It's called I Am Tomorrow. I am tomorrow from the foods that I eat today. Not just the healthy foods, but the ones that please me as well. I am tomorrow by the emotions that I experience today, not just the pleasant ones that please me, but all of them, both the up and the down. I am tomorrow by the thoughts I think today. My thoughts create the body chemistry that motivate and generate my actions. I am tomorrow by the words I speak today. So I get teased and even rebuked for saying, I am always good. I am tomorrow by the karma, both good and bad, that I create today. So the hippies of the 70s were right. What goes around comes around. I am tomorrow by the beliefs I hold today as true. Even if no longer true, beliefs I learned in childhood are the most difficult ones to change. I am tomorrow from the stories I cling to about the past. Every memory is a chance to invent a better tomorrow by choosing ones of love. I am tomorrow from the gratitude I have when I realize how blessed I am to have someone to love, to be loved by someone, and that I am grateful for the life that I live today. I am tomorrow today.
Wonderful. Well, now we're going to let you guys do something, experience something that we do as part of this program when people share it. It's called Riff. It's giving reflective, informative, inspiring, friendly feedback. So are there a couple of people that would like to do a riff for his poem?
Just so cheerful and optimistic and very positive, Neil. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend Leslie.
Is there another?
Come on, somebody got to say I'm way too positive and.
Yeah, tone it down a bit, Neil. You know, this is just making us too happy.
I thought it was really nice. Thank you.
Yeah, it was.
And for me, it was interesting to think about, the relationship between today and tomorrow. My philosophy has always been today, live one day at a time. And for me, that's really important to do. On the other hand, I know that you're right in terms of saying what I do today will certainly influence tomorrow. So it sort of makes me think more about what I do today, because that will have an effect on my tomorrow and hopefully on other people's tomorrows too. Thanks. It was good.
Thank you for those replies, and thank you for the poem. That leads us over to a drum roll time for our Captain Luke. I tease him and call him Skywalker, but he's our captain for introducing and launching our website. We have a PBA website, and it's one of the other places where now you'll be able to link in and find all of our episodes, as well as something new that we are rolling out called listening sessions. And the listening sessions are if you just want to go in and hear a story, a set of poems, or interviews that people have done, you have that choice, or people will have that choice as well. So take it away, Luke.
Okay. Let me just get the old screen share set up here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy.
Wow.
I know.
Oops.
Maybe a new picture.
Yeah. That's been a big piece of feedback. You should have seen the one I had on there before. Charlotte remembers. So yeah, we've got a website. Basically, it's just it's kind of just a container for all the various links to our episodes. So basically, what happens is after every episode that we record, like we're doing today, they get edited into an MP3 file. So not video file, just audio only. And the MP3 file gets loaded onto a service called Anchor.fm. And that's kind of our podcast disseminator. So once we load it onto Anchor, it gets sent out to Apple, it gets sent out to Spotify and Google and a bunch of other places that people sometimes access the podcast from. So long story short, once we get it loaded onto Anchor, it should be available in whichever podcast app you might use or your friends or family might use. And the easiest way to find it is to type Powered by Age in the search, and it should show up in those apps. So the other way that you can access it, if someone isn't too familiar with phones, is they can go to poweredbyage.com, like we are here. And it still needs quite a few tweaks. It's basically just a shell at this point. But right now we've got our episodes and our spins, which is the new shorter segments. So for episodes, this is kind of what it looks like when you click on an episodes. It's got them all here. Season 2, which is what we have started since the pandemic. And then the episode number, 10, 11, 12, sequentially numbered. So then when you click on one of the episodes, it's got the title up here, the date, a bit of the description, which Leslie's done a great job updating. My descriptions were pretty bad. So you're on this page here, this Powered by Age website, and you can click right on this play button, which links to our YouTube page.
So welcome to the Spin series. This is a story by Neil Ryan, and we're going to meet Ryan right now.
Oh, good morning, everybody. I have a story to read, but I need to give you a little bit of background. It's actually a prize-winning short story, and it's a program that gives me the first paragraph of a story, and I have to I have to create a story that touches on the information provided in the first paragraph. And that first paragraph would appear in my email on Saturday morning. And 24 hours later at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning, it has to be in the in basket of the woman that runs the program. It's called the 24-hour short story contest. And this is one of the winners. And it's called Jane of the Car. It arrived on Saturday, around that time anyway, around the beginning of August. And Saturday morning, she sends me the introducing. And by the way, I should introduce myself. My name is Neil Ryan. I am a writer of poetry and short stories, and my book is called From the Other Side, which is an amazingly beautiful, because it comes from the other side. I get to be the scribe to write down the words that come to me as a gift. But here's the story, and it's called Jane of the Car. That's enough.
Their trips to the drive-in movie. Did someone say stop? Is that...
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
It said stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah, it goes for 18 minutes, so maybe it's not not for right now, but
Well, anybody can go and that wants to hear the story, you can go and check it out.
Yep. So yeah, basically, if you're looking to get one of your friends or family to listen to the podcast, sending them to the website poweredbyage.com is a good place to start. And over the next few weeks, I think me and Charlotte are going to add more sort of how-to information on how to join the podcast, how to download a podcast app on your phone, that kind of stuff. Just so if there's some people that are coming in totally blind on podcasting, they have a few references to get up to speed.
Yeah, and this day was called a listening party. So maybe can you go to one of the people, just hear a little bit of Gail's interview. It's kind of showcasing things that occurred within our usual hour podcast. Sometimes people did an interview or they did a poem, but these are just the poem or the interviews all by themselves. With interviews, we're working toward having a reservoir in Canada of stories that people that you've interviewed that are just interesting to you. It could be a neighbor, friend, or in this case, Gail interviewed a spiritual leader that she was inspired by. Okay, today we are doing another spin session powered by age, stories, poems, interviews, and niceties.
I'm Gail Harwood, and I'm a member of the 411 Seniors Network. And I'm doing a podcast with my friend Kim Bartu, and I call him a spiritual engineer. Been pals for a long time.
Yeah, we've known each other for decades.
Yeah, exactly. So do you consider yourself a scientist, a person of faith, or a mixture of the two?
I'm very much both. Not even a mixture. I'm 100% scientist and 100% person of faith. So it's not like 50-50. It's 100% of both. Some people find my scientific mindset pretty over the top. Sometimes I'm very, very focused on fact, on what on verifiable fact. I'm really not that interested that much in rumors and, any kind of information that's just people tossing it around. I have the scientist's bias toward information that's verified. And sometimes that gets me into trouble, but but here I am, right? I grew up a scientist. I grew up in the 60s, the whole space, exploration era where, we just stayed glued to our TVs every time there was a astronaut going into space. I grew up that way, and then I studied physics in college. Had some of the best teachers, I think, in the country as my mentors, and learned an appreciation for the scientific method. Let's put it that way. So I really do come by it honestly. After my physics degree, I went on and got an engineering degree, which is a more practical way to keep oneself alive. And I really enjoy engineering also. I think I probably was an engineer from the beginning as well. However, I also was brought up in a Quaker family from my very first day. And that's always been a big part of my self, my way of being in the world, which is seeing the world as a Quaker person, as a Quaker participant, as a Quaker practitioner, someone dedicated to pursuing a spiritual path and using silence and meditation and appealing to the light, as Quakers speak of it, to help me along the way. So those two are, so that's a big part of it too. And as it turns out, I mentioned a few paragraphs ago, if you want to call it that, a minute ago, I mentioned having been taught by some of the best science professors when I went to college. It turns out the two I'm thinking of, there were more than that, but two out of that group of excellent science professors were also Quakers. So it turns out that Quakerism is a faith or a religious community that scientists in general are welcomed into, and who can bring a scientific sensibility into a religious environment and find that the two are not in conflict. Mm-hmm. So I'm part of that tradition also.
Okay, so going back to your childhood, you did spend the first 15 years of your life in Kentucky. That I know about. And I've been to your hometown, Louisville, so we'll get that out of the way. But what?
So yeah, that's that goes on for half an hour. So that's a little taste of that.
So to encourage other people, we will look at the website again. Anchor.fm is one way to access the episodes. And then how soon will all of them be loaded onto our PBA website?
Everything's on the PBA website right now. It's just not everything's on YouTube and Facebook yet.
Okay, so people can just, if you don't want to have to go to anywhere to subscribe, you can go to our new poweredbyage.com website. You can hear episodes where you hear the different topics we've talked about all of these 24 weeks, and you can hear the special spins. We also encourage anyone within the group who has a story, poem, interview that you'd like to do on Tuesdays with Jesse from CJSF, works with people to help them get recorded or to elicit their story and to put it into these spins, these spin-off sessions, spin-offs that have come from the Powered by Age podcast that we've been doing all these weeks. So I want to thank those that have to leave and get to other meetings for staying with us this long. Welcome you to keep on each week, coming to Powered by Age. And next week, I'll give you a preview for next week. Next week is a preview to Thanksgiving. And so our theme will be thankful, like the word F-U-L-L, thankful. So if you have a thought, a poem, something you want to share, you can bring it. And we're going to have a chef. We have a guest chef who's going to show some things that you could do to show love for yourself, some loving ways to deal with food. A lot of times people say seniors just eat tea and toast, or people say that they don't have time, or it's just me. Well, she's going to show you how to be full of joy and excitement with what you prepare for yourself. So I look forward to seeing you. I want to thank you, Robin, for being with us, for being a mentor and an encourager to our group, to Joel for people that you helped get started with recording, Luke, not only helping them get started with recording, but nurturing us along each week and solving technical problems we have. So thank you and happy anniversary, and look forward to joining you, being with us as we go to 3.0 Zoom, where we might have video, we might have all kinds of things that are tweaking around in people's heads, and that Leslie says, you creatives.
How do you build a budget for that?
So thank you so much for you, 411 Center, Leslie, Marion, the board, everyone in supporting us. And thank you, Agnes, for taking time to visit. You're welcome to come anytime, because this group not only listens to things, they actually get involved in writing letters, making phone calls, and really being the vibrant kind of people that we picture older people to be.